Wow.
Yeah, so we just got done watching the holiday special for Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's surprisingly moving.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
I was not expecting that. I mean, I wasn't really sure what I was going to get. I thought that the trailer was interesting, but it was definitely feeling like very cheesy, really leaning into that Christmas movie thing, which it did, but it did it in such a funny and delightful way. It completely caught me off guard, and then I was surprised at how much it touched my heart by the end.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. I mean, let's start off with the basics. You know, you have Drax and Mantis together, and you see that in the trailer. This is a non-spoiler in case it's not obvious from the title, but you see them together in the trailer, and that's the majority of the story here. Them pursuing Kevin Bacon, and I think that them together is an unexpectedly fun, explosive thing. Like, it's just so cool to see these two interact. It's almost like, it just kind of reminds me of the old days with Friends when you reach season 8, you're like, well, who else can we put together at this point? Who else can we get comedy out of? And it's these two as far as Guardians goes. And I suppose that, James Gunn kind of, vibed off of Guardians Volume 2 because he did have them together for a bit.
Yeah.
And so he just expanded on that, but really gave Mantis personality here.
Yeah, I thought it was really great because, I've always enjoyed a lot of Mantis's little jokes, like funny moments now and then, but she's never really been...
stand out.
Yeah, she's just kind of been in the background supporting.
Just helping to facilitate things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then here in this movie, she really gets a chance to shine, and she was so much fun to hang out with, especially the combination of her and Drax. And I enjoyed just getting a chance to, hang out with her more and learn more about her personality and her story.
Well, if people are super purists about what has been established, I think the deviation from her character that's been established, people might get annoyed. But I think that she's obscure enough, and it's not like Spider-Man or Superman or Batman or anything like that, where it's like people really know this character. Like, like Batman without a cape, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, Mantis isn't like that. And so I think that you get to... she's malleable still. You get to do what you want with her character and you can get away with it. And I think that's what happened here because they made her character so much more profoundly fun than in the previous iterations with her character because she's more feisty.
Yeah.
And I just think that's so awesome that James Gunn took it that direction because one of the things I said in my review with Achara after we watched the movie is that she says things I would love to say to Drax. I vicariously get to live through her experience, both in her frustrations with Drax and her innocence that she brings to the role in exploring Earth.
Yes, and I think it's her innocence that really balances out some of the moments where maybe her reactions could be a little bit over the top, but it makes sense because it's grounded in that innocence. And so she gets away with kind of maybe being a little bit extra, a little bit too excited about things. And I mean, for us, right, because we are Earthlings and we are used to all this stuff. So we're like, okay, lady, you need to calm down. Yeah. It's not that exciting, okay? But it's fun looking at it through her eyes and also living vicariously through her and Drax as they come to Earth during Christmas time and interact with people and Kevin Bacon. One
of the most surprising things about this for me is because, Disney Plus has had a lot of things that not everybody has unanimously loved. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, between shows and whatever. Werewolf by Night was a surprising gem that it seems like everybody who watched it really liked it.
Yeah, and that was a special presentation as well.
I really have been enjoying Andor. And this goes in that collection of stuff where I'm like, whoa, okay, this is a really good Disney Plus thing. And I'm really digging, I'm vibing with these, one-off specials that Disney Plus is doing, at least thus far that I've watched, because it's so good, man. Like, it really catches you off guard. And I was very aware of what was happening while watching it, and I still got emotional while watching it. It was the weirdest thing.
I don't know. It's like it really put me in the Christmas spirit, and I'm not the type of person that... I mean, I love Christmas, don't get me wrong. Like, when the Christmas songs come on the radio, I love to listen to them and sing along. I love caroling. But I'm not really like a Christmas movie person. That isn't really my vibe a lot of the time, although there are some that I very much enjoy. But this one definitely made me want to like watch some more Christmas movies and like snuggle up with a blanket and a cup of hot chocolate and maybe some marshmallows and stuff, you know?
This definitely goes up there for me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's Die Hard is number 1. Number 2 would be Jingle All the Way. Number 3 is
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life. Thank you. It's late. It's really late. And number 4 would be this, Guardians of the Galaxy, the holiday special. Like, it's way up there. It's so good. Like, it's 40 minutes and 55 seconds. Well, 41 minutes, right? And I was a little bit apprehensive going into it. I'm like, what can they possibly do that's meaningful with this runtime?
Yeah.
And while watching it, I was like, I thought it was ending sooner than it did. And then I realized at the end, it felt longer than 40 minutes, but in a good way. Like, they used that time so economically to really tell a full story. And I got more out of this than I have out of a lot of the Disney Plus shows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you got the whole arc, you got meaning and depth, and got
comedy, hilarity. There were some really meta moments as well.
Well, there was something meaningful. I'm not going to say what it was, but there was something meaningful in this.
Yeah.
That it's like, oh, like, I didn't expect to get that. And it's like, it will have some kind of effect on the MCU, I'm sure. But I'm like, oh, wow, like, I got so much out of this 40-minute, like, goofy thing that I wasn't expecting to fall in love with, and I have.
Yeah.
Especially because, like, I'm not, this is going to sound like heresy to some of you guys, but I'm not the biggest James Gunn fan. Like, I liked Guardians 1 a lot. Guardians 2 is all right. And then, you know, I know that some of you guys really love the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker. I'm not the biggest fan of those. And so I wasn't actually, I had really low expectations for this. And then I ended up falling in love with it. I'm like, oh, wow, like, this is one of my favorite things from James Gunn. So
super wholesome as well. I almost just want to watch it again right now. Like, it's short enough. Do you know what I mean? Like, to put you in a good mood, just put it on at the end of a rough day, and then you'll just be laughing and smiling. And it's like, oh, yay. The Christmas spirit is alive within me. Yeah.
They use some interesting storytelling techniques to make this work because it's a holiday special, right?
Yeah.
And so you can only spend so much money. And I thought that the way they went about telling this story was also very economical, but it works because you're making concessions in your heart, right, in your mind,
as
because
you
you're like,
do for many Christmas films, I feel.
Well, sure, like, well, I mean, you're acknowledging that this is, you know, low budget.
Yeah.
Even though it's still probably really expensive, but you're acknowledging it's low budget, and the way they go about telling the story, you know, I think they did a really good job using the techniques they did because it feels like throwbacky. But not in a way that's like distracting, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I feel like it just helps. I'm trying not to say too much.
Just watch it, you guys, and enjoy it, and maybe make yourself a mug of hot chocolate or something before you do it.
Wear your ugly sweater.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's get in the spirit and maybe have a tissue.
I guess the last thing I'll say is I really like what Dave Bautista brings to it. And the lady who plays Mantis, I should know her name by now, but I don't. I think both of them are great together.
Yes.
And I hope to see more of them together because they have very opposite personalities, but they both have the same level of innocence, and it weirdly works very well.
It works so well. And I think it also, Mantis was so great in this. She did such a great job of just like really grounding down into the innocence and bringing the heart to the story. And then, you know, by the end, you're just like, oh.
Yeah.
There were a lot of awe moments.
But it works.
Yes.
And it doesn't, it's like, usually I hate that, but it worked.
Yeah.
You know?
It was great.
Anyways, you guys, thanks so much. I'm Jabby Koi. This is
Achara Cook.
Peace out.